awareness is the greatest agent for change, which Eckhart Tolle said. I love this quote. If you don't know, you can't do anything about it. So getting some awareness around where is your team against the competencies of teamwork, like communication, collaboration, all these different skills and tools and things that the team can use. If you are aware of the gaps, you can close the gaps. So maybe this is something you could use, right? There's two main factors when it comes to teamwork. Number one is your success. Obviously, that teams come together to do things together that they cannot do alone. So whatever your measure of success is, it could be a revenue target, share price. It could be all sorts of different things around the work that you do. And I think in business, we're all very familiar with this, and we spend a lot of time and mental effort and money here on this scale, which you can be high or low on, right? So we're very familiar with that. What we're less familiar with is the other scale, which I call the happiness scale. And this is how the team gels. It's a bit like the head and the heart. So what's the heart doing? What's the emotions within the team, the relationships, the culture of communication? How safe does everyone feel to speak up? How do we solve problems? How do we deal with difficulty? What happens if someone has an argument? How do we deal with it? What's okay and what's not okay? All of this kind of stuff. It's a little harder to measure, but this absolutely influences what you're there to do in the first place. Now, if you could imagine, first of all, yourself, but imagine doing this with your team, right? If you sat your team in a room and I explained this to them, where would you put the sticker? Okay, imagine this is a poster and there are 4 squares, which I will now explain. And you get to put a sticker where you think your team is, right? You might be in the red zone. You're low on happiness. There's maybe politics, blame cultures, a lack of commitment, disengaged people, lack of clarity. And because of that, you're struggling and you're not getting the results. And if you can imagine in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a little magnet that pulls you down. The more it happens, the more it drags you down. This is a very dangerous place to be. You will not survive the red zone if you leave it where it is. So maybe you be in one of the yellow zones, things are okay. Maybe you're really successful. Maybe you're making lots of money. Maybe you're hitting your targets, but everyone's elbowing each other out of the way to get there. Maybe there's a lot of stress. I think of like Wolf of Wall Street, the film, if you've seen that, high intensity, high pressure, but people are burning out because it's so hard to be there. But then, is money the answer? Or you might be a really happy team that love each other. I think of maybe a family running a restaurant or a small family business. Oh, we all love each other. It's fantastic. But you know what? Standing still is to go backwards these days, and things happen that, you've got to be ready for difficult times. So why would you not want to be in the green zone? Where you work hard to get this stuff right. You fix the problems. You anticipate relationship breakdowns. You know what to do if that happens. But you're a tight team that succeeds as a result. And I think of like maybe 2 football teams, right? 2 professional football teams. We've got the Euros going on at the moment. On paper, when they line up before kickoff, they look so similar. It's the margins are so fine when it comes to talent and skill and success on the vertical scale. But one of those teams, let's say, has just lost its last 8 games, and one of them has just won its last 8 games. And that team has momentum, it has confidence, it has belief. They've worked hard. They're far more likely to win because they're in the green zone. And again, there's another magnet in the top right-hand corner where there is momentum, and it's like, pushing a car, right? If you need to push a car for the first time, the first few bits are hard work. Everyone's got to get their shoulder to the boot of the car and give it a shove. But as you get that kinetic energy, that momentum, it gets easier. And eventually one person can walk along with one hand pushing the car. Teams that work hard to get into the green zone do have to push the car. But once they get in there and they get that, I talk to teams about creating the 3 R's, which are rhythms, routines, and rituals. What are your rhythms, routines, and rituals that your team consciously does that supports its happiness, builds connection and connectivity so that they get into this green zone and success comes as a result?